foundation clearing, and cart tire repair. William Hovey Smith, 2024.
This is Hovey Smith, a backyard sportsman. And it is early August now, and we have had a fair amount of rain recently due to the most recent hurricane. As a consequence, the ground is fairly damp, and it's time now to remove this vegetation that's growing next to my house. Like this material here, which is a woody shrub. It's about to blossom and about to start seeding, which I do not want to have happen. The best way to remove it is actually to pull it up by the roots, haul it away, and burn it, which is my intention. Well, not only do we have this, but we also have some vines, among which are Virginia creeper, which is not noxious, and we also have poison oak, which is very noxious, which I am allergic to, although not violently. So we are going to get started moving this material. But we have another problem.
As I work my way around the house, I will pile this material up, but I need a cart to move and transport it. Well, my cart has a very flat tire, as you can see. And so this I'm going to have to repair. It is also full of, almost a cubic foot of water or two, so I'm going to have to get rid of that. But I'm actually going to put that water to good use by carrying it over to where I'm going to pull and using it to further soften the ground. And then I'll push the cart underneath my shed and patch that tire. Well, I've got about as much water out of here as I can dip out with a bucket. So, I believe I can lift it now, pour the rest out of the back. But that tire was too flat to roll. So, consequently, we're going to lift it up and repair it in place. I'm going to put some air in it and we'll see what happens. I can hear it coming out, but I can't feel it. Well, dog bowl needs washing anyway, so a little dishwashing soap in here. See if we can find some bubbles. Yeah, all along here, several places on the tread. Here on the sidewall too. That can be salvaged at all. It'll be by the use of the tube. As it turns out, those tires that I had, they were absolutely dry rotted. So we went to our local tire shop and he outfitted me with brand new 4-ply tires and put them on my existing rims. Now, one thing about these wheels, they were not greased at all, and I needed a tube of grease for my grease gun. And I ordered a tube of grease, but obviously this is much too large to fit this gun. So we're going to scoop it out and put it inside the rim shaft here and use that to lubricate. If you just smear it on the outside, all of it will just get pushed against that washer, and which will do some good, but not really what was expected. Okay, that's enough for that side. Do the same from this end. Okay. Well, that now being done, I want to be able to air the tire easily, so I'm going to put this on the outside rather than inside. Rather than inside. We now have both tires on, and they're greased, looking good. So, time to put them on the ground. All right. Now that we once again have a functional cart, we can proceed to be about our work. Trying to get them up by the roots. Some of these are coming up nicely, but others of which I'm breaking off at the roots, unfortunately. But it really did help to wet these. If you're wondering why I don't just put a herbicide on these, this is right next to my well. Consequently, I just don't want to treat them that way. We've been about 50% successful in getting them up by the roots. So next comes a grubbing hoe. Support this channel by buying my outdoor books, business books, novels, and recommending them to your local libraries. This year I was nominated and accepted in Who's Who of America. This is not something one applies for. You must be nominated by an independent source. Your lifetime work is evaluated. And I was selected because of the diversity of my activities. And what these included are being a professional geologist, a military engineer who was honored, the author of more than 20 books, a producer of more than 1,000 YouTube videos, as well as a comedian and broadcaster sometimes, all of which are slanted towards helping you make a better life for yourself. With the grubbing hoe, I've torn up this ground, and what I'm looking for are the roots of the plants that I pulled before where the roots broke off. I'm going to see if I can get as many of these out as possible. Yeah, it's these little fellows I'm looking for. This is another noxious plant, privet hedge. And privet literally means private, and what it was used for, among other things, is as a hedge around privies, hence to be thick enough to give a degree of privacy. Well, it proliferates like mad from both seed and from the roots, and once it gets on a place, yeah, it is almost impossible to get rid of. So this is a continuous thing, removing privet hedge from river bottoms, around archaeological sites, out of formal gardens, and so on. I'm hoping to get it roots and all. Yeah. There we go. Got the whole plant. That's good. This privet hedge is, of course, much larger. Although the plant is 2 to 3 years old, it grows that rapidly. And I'm going to need to pull it off. And I'm using my truck. And I previously loosened the soil around it with a grubbing hoe. This privet hedge is growing next to the house. I have some strong tape rated to 600 pounds. And I've grubbed up around the roots of that one, which is right at the corner of the carport and the house, and difficult. You can't mow it. So other than cut it off, which does no good at all, extracting it is just about the only way. So we're going to attempt to pull it out with the truck and see what happens. Well, that one largely came out. And despite all the rain we've had, you can see how dry the roots are. Yeah, that would have been a tough pull. I doubt if I could have made it had I just tried to pull it without grubbing around it first. We have the side of the house cleared now. With the privet hedge, the long running roots that ran along the foundation, we got up as many of those as we could, including those that were just cut off in the ground, because the plant will sprout from those roots. There's enough nutrition left in the roots to support the sprout. Well, we're about to haul off with our newly wheeled little cart here, and you can see its utility. And I do have previous videos about me clearing up in previous years and months around the other side of the house, where we got vines. Yeah, we got vines and more vines. And you can see that video and see how I disposed of them and burned them. It's difficult to burn green vine material, but I show you how to do that. But now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe. Goodbye, God bless, and see you next time. I also have a related video on the edible and toxic pokeweed, which also grows next to my house. A possible plant source for pink dye in 18th century Georgia. William Hovey Smith, 2024.